Spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services and Barry Law. I'm Travis Filing, Transformation Group, and with me as always, Gary Tharnish from Home Design Real Estate. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm having a great Saturday morning. I just kicked off my flip-flops. I'm now officially barefoot in here and enjoying the day. Yes, sir, I am.
I thought I smelled some funky corn chips or something in here.
That's David. Our producer, by the way, who's awesome. Thank you, David.
Yes.
Don't cut me off.
So last week, you were gone last week,
yes.
and I kind of kicked off the show with the business story in the news, and we talked about the Coldplay Kiss Cam, which was hilarious. Lord. Shared the business lesson. I got a lot of good feedback from it.
Oh, sure.
And so I thought, well, let's try that again. Let's talk what's in the news. What's a business lesson we can learn in the news? And I found two stories, kind of the same, but different. One of them was the WNBA, the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like during warmups, they had the pay us what you owe us shirts. Mm-hmm. And I thought, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Stephen Colbert gets canceled. Now, of course, there's a big uproar about it. And I won't get into what they say. They scream politics. I don't care about that side of it. But the thing that really stood out to me was, I mean, first off, the Late Show lost $40 million last year. Yeah. And the WNBA is estimated to lose between $40 and $50 million this year.
Well, and they lost like $27 million. They lost last year.
They have yet to turn a profit in like 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. My business doesn't seem to work that way. I've had a year where we didn't turn a profit. It was tough.
Yeah.
But anyway, the lesson though was, so WNBA is obviously still going on.
Yeah.
The Colbert is still on the air until the end of the year. And you have employees that are out there that are basically trashing your company. I mean, Colbert is out there. He is hammering these people nonstop.
Yeah.
CBS and Paramount. And of course, WNBA is the same when the NFL, they were kneeling for the national anthem. As an employer, I look at this and go, okay, CBS, Paramount, you need to get Colbert off the air, because when you have an employee, I've had this before. I'm sure you have too. You have an employee that is a cancer in your organization. And what are they going to do if you keep them around? They're going to start infecting all your other employees.
Yeah. One bad apple ruins the entire bushel. Sure.
And
there's so much to unpack there. First off, they come out with those shirts on, and I'm thinking, okay, know your audience. Like 80% of the people attending this game probably are going to pay their mortgage a little late because they want to bring their two sons, and the tickets were an exorbitant amount of money. And you're out here crying about the fact that I want more of my millions. Pay me now. It's like, first off, right? I mean, so the whole brand and culture and everything's just getting trashed with that, right? But it's also like, don't cry about it. If you don't like your job, go find something different. You know the game. You get it.
And I looked up, Caitlin Clark makes like $97,000 a year. But she made $11 million last year off of her sponsorships.
There you go.
And it's like, pay us what you owe us? Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they need to, if you're a business owner, you have employees, you have to be watchful because culture is everything. And one person can crush your business culture.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Well, our guest today, we had this scheduled once before, Jason Steiner from HeroStock. We had this scheduled once before, and then we got canceled because of a baseball game, I think it was.
Yep.
So
there you go.
But thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me in.
Yeah. Love having you in here. We've been kind of sitting around. You're the second guest who has actually beat me to the studio. So we've been kind of just chit-chatting here for about a half an hour or so.
Military, if you're 15 minutes prior to 15 minutes prior. So
okay, obviously I'm not military, but when I was 17 and got into possibly a little bit of police trouble and my dad had to pick me up, theoretically maybe that happened.
Right.
We're on the way home and he goes, "All right, I've had it with you. It's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You pick one." I go, "Dad, I can't do a push-up, right? Like I can play drums, I can swim. I really can't. Like, that, right?" So I so appreciate those of you that have been in the service.
Yeah.
defended
See,
our freedom.
my dad actually talked me out of going into the service because he served 5 years in Vietnam. And he goes,
God.
I did my service. I did your service. I did your brother's service. I did your grandkids' service. So
Right.
you're good.
Right.
And his point was, Travis, you can't take an order from anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's important in the military.
Yeah, it kind of
Well,
is.
And there's been a lot of wars since Vietnam, but I remember in Vietnam, for me, grew up over here on 28th and P Street. And so we're talking 70. For me, I'm talking 70. So I was, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. And I remember that across the street, the family across the street, she had 3 sons. They were all drafted into the Vietnam War. 2 came back, 1 didn't. And I remember my age group, when I was 16, until I was 16, we were like, man, that's like our destiny. We're going to go fight in this war that you're now seeing on TV every night, that all the bodies coming home, whatever. And, it's a tragic thing. And I think what happens when our military come home is really the big tragedy, in my opinion.
I agree. And my thing, because my dad, he went, he quote unquote volunteered because he got popped running moonshine. So it was a choice, Vietnam or jail. And so he volunteered. And when he came back, somebody spit on him, screaming and yelling at him in an airport.
Right.
And I always make it a point, when I see a veteran, I thank him.
Right.
But
Exactly.
when I see a Vietnam veteran, I welcome him home.
Right.
Because they never got that.
Yep.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah. To this day.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. So now you were in the military, obviously. Tell us a little bit about your service.
So I served 96 to 2000. I was out at Camp Pendleton, California, amphibious assault vehicle driver. So we actually drove the floating tanks that went from ship to shore. We were troop carriers. I did that for the first 2 years. The last 2 years I was a marksmanship instructor for our battalion. So I trained 1,100 Marines and Navy corpsmen on rifle and pistol, and we qualified every year.
Oh, wow. Very good.
I got lucky.
You never want to have me around with you, by the way. A rifle or a pistol. I am a klutz. I'd be the guy that you'd bring me into the emergency room and go, no, he shot himself in the right knee. And then he was trying to find the safety and shot himself. So,
Right.
But anyway, so thank you for doing that. First off.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amphibious vehicle driving kind of sounds fun, but
I'm
sure it was,
I'm sure it's fun when the bullets aren't flying.
Yeah, when the
past
bullets
you.
are,
Right,
that's what I
right.
mean. Like the training part kind of sounds fun. Like,
Right. Yeah. And
Anyway.
it was a good time. I was actually wanting to stay in. I was going to do 20 years.
sure.
And for some reason, things happened where I couldn't move to a different unit. I wanted to go to a different unit. There was no boat spaces open. And they're like, well, you have to re-enlist here. And I'd seen guys that were stuck on the ramp for 20 years.
Yeah, hang
because
on.
they wanted to move. And they
Re-enlist. What do you mean? You're already in.
So do your first 4 years, then you re-enlist for another 4 years.
Oh,
or 6
okay.
years.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. Okay.
Yeah,
got it,
re-up.
got it.
But like I'd watch guys that were like, yeah, I wanted to go to a different unit, and I re-enlisted here 15 years ago, and I'm still here.
Mhm.
Like you just get sucked into that one thing, and you don't ever get to leave.
And it defines you.
Yep. And I'm
kind of like actors or actresses that it's like, he's always a bad guy.
Yeah.
right.
Like you see him in the movie right off the bat, you go, that's a bad guy.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
if
you
there's
get
a
stuck in
need,
that
like my
niche.
uncle, he flew C-130s.
Yeah.
And then when he got done, I think he did 2. He signed up, re-enlisted once or twice. And then he got to the end of it and they're like, we don't need C-130 pilots. We need Chinook pilots. And he goes, bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay, I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you did 4 years out there then.
I did.
And then
So we finished the 4 years. I got married while I was in, and we moved back to Nebraska as a temporary stay in 2000. When we got back, my wife found out she was pregnant. So it changed my direction. I was actually planning on going to college. And when we found out she was pregnant, I was like, I have to go to work. So my brothers all do flooring. So I started down the road with flooring with them. Started my own company in January of 2001, doing tile and wood floors. And I'm still doing that today.
Oh, nice.
So
great, of which I would like a card because
Yeah,
Home
that's-
Design Real Estate Group, we often have to hire guys that do this. So that's great.
Sure.
So don't forget to give me that
Right
before
on.
you leave.
Yeah.
But I love
absolutely.
that. I love people there whose lives have changed dramatically because of a child, right? I missed the book too. So I had a child that was like, okay, we were going to wait a while or whatever.
Right.
And then everybody has their story with that. But yeah, and it
Yep.
just changes your trajectory of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, when 9/11 happened, I was out for a year and a half, year and 9 months, year and 8 months. And when it happened, I really struggled with that side of, do I go back in and be with the boys and do what we're supposed to do? You know, I trained 4 years to go do what they're doing.
Mm.
So do I go back in, or do I stay out, raise my family, run my business? You know, that
that'd be tough.
And
That'd be tough, because
I
I imagine your unit deployed that you were with.
Yeah.
And now here's all the guys that I trained with.
Yep. And actually, the first helicopter crash of Afghanistan, I think there was 14 on board, and I trained 11 of them on the rifle and pistol.
Oh, wow.
As they were scrolling
There's
the
a
names.
movie about that, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so that touches your heart
Yeah.
and your mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah,
that's
you
a
could have been
big
on
part
it.
of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was kind of the part where I was like, okay, I'm where I need to be.
Yeah.
I don't need to go back in. I don't need to reenlist. I don't need to. So I stayed out, and I went to a nonprofit with my dad when I first got out, a big local or national nonprofit. And I walked in, and there was an old man sitting at the end of the bar, and he goes, "What war did you serve in?" I didn't. I was all garrison. And he goes, "Then why the bleep are you here?" And I went, "Okay, well, I'm done with the veteran thing." So I turned around and walked out. If I didn't tell you I was a Marine, a veteran, you never would have known. I never wore anything. I never talked about it. Because of that one interaction.
Yeah, that had to make you feel horrible.
Yeah.
Actually, when at the same time, it's like, you know, that's an interesting interaction, and the thought of that. I've never really thought of that very much, but it's like, yeah, if you weren't active or you didn't deploy, then you're lesser of a soldier.
Yep.
Right? Wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you're still the 1% of America that was willing to sign that check for your life.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know, and you get that from somebody, and you're like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
I don't need this.
Because I think of my grandfather he wasn't in World War II.
Right.
He was in Hawaii. He was a saddle maker. Right. Not his choice.
Right.
He didn't go, "Hey, I want to go into the army and make saddles."
Right.
But it doesn't mean he didn't serve his country. He very much served his country.
Yep.
Well, and think
You
about
know?
the man that said that to you, right? So he's got a lot that he has just kept inside, kept pushing it down inside, turns into anger, turns into levels of, you know, well, I had it worse than you did, because he hasn't somewhere along the road talked or asked somebody for some help to deal with those issues.
Right.
So, you know, now that wasn't about you really then, but at the time, that would affect you.
Yeah. How else would you take it?
Yeah. I just kind of did okay, I'm done. And I walked
like as
away
if your
from
service didn't matter.
Exactly.
Which is
Yeah,
not
that's
true
nuts.
at all. You know that now, right?
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Just checking, because we have another segment. We can do some.
We can do some therapy
Google
for you.
how to help.
Yeah.
this.
The two guys that need therapy, we'll give you
The
some
most-
therapy.
Right, right.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And then we'll get sued because we'll mess you up so bad before you
Right.
leave. You're gonna wish you never came through the door. No, exactly. And
But
then
I
if
wonder
I
how
do
many.
ask you to teach me how to shoot a gun, you know to always say no. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Gotcha.
I wonder how many soldiers actually get that treatment or that feeling that if you weren't in it, that you didn't serve.
I've never
never
thought
heard of
about it, but I thought
never
a
have
lot.
either.
There's a lot actually. We were just down at Tanks last night. We went down to support one of the local musicians that we do a lot of stuff with. And one of my wife's friends and her fiance came over, and he said something about, well, but my service didn't really matter because like I didn't deploy.
So God, that's
And I was like,
sad.
no, that's not no. You train people that ended up going to combat. You did your job. It did matter.
Yeah.
You know,
You
and
put
he's
your
like,
life on the line by signing that piece of paper,
right.
and it's a blessing that you didn't have to go over. And
Yeah.
Right.
we're thankful. Those of us that can't shoot guns because you wouldn't want us to are thankful that you served. And
Sure.
Yeah.
my brother-in-law's a Marine. served 24 years. He was the brain of it.
Right.
Not necessarily brawn, but brain. I mean, he ended up working in the commandant's office and he had all those years of service, but he never served on the front lines.
Sure.
And I just wonder if he's ever thought that.
Right.
I mean, he might have. I don't know. It never thought about it until just now, but that's a lot.
Yeah, and you have to think too, just like any company, any job. I mean, somebody has to clean the toilets.
Right.
Is it important? Yeah, you bet it is.
Right.
Is it important that some like my grandfather, he's making saddles?
Right.
Well, it's pretty dang important that doesn't fail during battle.
Right,
you know,
right.
so
Yeah.
just because you were in Hawaii and had a gig that wasn't dangerous doesn't mean you didn't help support the war and the effort and were part of it.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Very interesting. Well, we have a break coming up here, so let's run to that real quick. We're talking with Jason Steiner from HeroStock, and you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we'll be back right after this.
Hello, you are listening to the 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and myself, Gary Tharnish. Today we are talking with Jason Steiner, and this segment is sponsored by the Complete Family Dermatology and Lincoln Coin and Bullion. So go get all freshened up and look great, and then go buy some gold.
There you go.
There you go.
There
That's
you go.
your mission for the day. So we were chatting before the first break, especially for anybody tuning in right now, with Jason about the nonprofit HeroStock. And what inspired you as we were talking? You know, one thing we were talking about off air is like how hard it is to ask for help, right? You don't want to be the broken toy in the toy box. And it is a tough thing to ask for help. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't in the military. Like I told you, I mean, they wouldn't even have me making the bullets, much less shooting it, defending anything. But
you'd have been making saddles in Hawaii.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Maybe if I could find my way to work or didn't squirreled off on 100 other things. Like I'm the last person you want to be focused in the military. But importantly, I've been sitting here thinking about friends of mine and friends of mine's kids, especially now at the season of life I'm in, that have come back from the military and in ways are broken.
Right.
And it's held in a lot. You can see it. Now, I've had a couple of moms of my friends of mine that their sons were in the military. They'll talk about it to us a lot and just say, I'm just going to make up a name here, but Tim's just not the same since he came back. And he's he keeps pushing it down inside. He won't talk to us about it. And is that a little bit of what inspired you for HeroStock? And what's the origin of that thought and how did it start?
So that is a big piece of it. The reason why I started HeroStock was we wanted a night for veterans to just hang out and have the camaraderie, have the family, have the brotherhood that we had while we were in. Because that's something that everybody misses. Your transition out of the military, you miss that family that you've had for the last 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, however long you were in. And even the guys and gals that retire, they do 20, 24, 30, however many years. And then they go back to civilian world and you have lost everything that was your identity.
Right.
So when we started HeroStock, it was a night for veterans to hang out. That was all it was going to be. It was going to be a one night, one off, never to happen again.
Oh, wait. Not like once a month. It was just going to be a one thing.
One night.
Okay.
One night. That's
okay.
And we got a band. My neighbor came down one night. We were drinking a beer and he goes, "Hey, I got a band that might come in and play." I'm like, "All right, cool. Yeah, let's do it."
Nice.
So we talked to this guy. We set a date. 2 nights later, he comes down and he goes, "Hey, I got another band." And I'm like, "Okay, if we're going to have 2 bands, we're going to do something with this. Like
Party
we're going to
time.
make it. Yeah, we're going to make it fun. It's not just going to be our group,
right?
Our nonprofit. It's going to be something bigger." So I had 45 days from the day of the idea to the day of the event. We set everything up. We had 2 bands, a food truck, a cornhole tournament, like 75 raffle giveaway prizes that was donated. We had about 100 people show up.
Okay.
And
wow,
it was a lot of fun. Everybody's like, "You have to do it again." I'm running my own business.
Right.
I've got a daughter that's a junior in high school that's playing travel hockey. I've got, and it's like, I don't have time to do, but there was a calling there.
Your daughter plays hockey.
Both my son and daughter played hockey.
Oh,
so
that's bad A.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, cool. Go ahead. I don't think I said that word on the air. I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, and that's kind of how HeroStock started. And when we filed for our paperwork, they're like, originally it was vet stock. So we played off the Woodstock thing for veterans. There's actually a vet stock on the East Coast. And they're like, you can't use the name. So we switched it and we changed it to HeroStock. And I said, okay, let's do this. Let's include the first responders and Gold Star families, because you think about it, our Gold Star families gave a loved one for a country,
definitely,
definitely, or two or three,
and there's a hole there.
Yeah, for sure. And then our first responders, they deal with people on their worst days. Yeah, whether it's police, fire, EMS, EMTs, you're going out to these bad calls, the bad wrecks, the whatever it might be. So that's why we included them into it too. And it's been really, really cool.
We'll expand on this in the next segment. This is kind of a short segment. We're going to have to go to a break, but I want to hear more about that. I love the fact that the Gold Star families, right? Is that how I'm saying that properly? Gold Star families, that they were involved, because I think of the kids whose mother or father never came home. Right. There's a big hole there. They don't talk about it a lot either.
No, I'm sure they don't.
So having a group and a place where you can go is amazing. We're going to come back with more of that.
Cool.
You're listening to the 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Thornish. Our guest today's Jason Steiner, and we're going to come back and kind of expand on. If you are former military, in the military, there's a place for you. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right.
KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. We're talking with Jason Steiner from HeroStock. This segment is sponsored by Red Rhino Roofing, Wyuka Cemetery, and a brand new sponsor to the show, Mendoza Family Insurance. These guys, they're really cool. I've known Greg for about a year. Full service insurance agency. He actually helped my daughter. She called me up and she was telling me about her home insurance. And she goes, oh my God. It was so upside down. Her house was insured for like $100,000. She paid $150 something for it, and then her stuff was insured for like $200,000. I go, what is
you have
this?
A dresser, a TV,
right?
A kitchen table. Right. That's about it. A hot dog bun warmer.
Are you sure it's 200? Because 200's way big and 20 might be. Anyway, I told Greg. He goes, "Oh, I see this stuff all the time." So,
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have him. Greg's a great guy. We'll have him in here talking insurance because, business owners,
sure.
I mean, insurance is a nightmare.
Yes, it is.
So maybe we can at least yell at him for our premiums going up.
There you go. I'm game.
So when we went to the break, we were talking a little bit about how HeroStock started. And you said originally it was going to be just a one-off. We're all going to have fun. And you did. And then where did it go from there?
It kind of exploded. We started the nonprofit. I grabbed a couple people that helped me set up the first one. I said, hey, let's do something with it. And so we got the paperwork done in May of 23. We set up our first event at Round the Bend Steakhouse.
Oh, love that place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want a steak for lunch. Go ahead.
So we get this all set up, get it running. I start doing podcasts. Like I start going on and finding these podcasts, and I'm like, I'm going to use podcasts to promote what we're doing. I did 44 podcasts in like 4.5 months.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
Dude, you just dive right in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay.
There's
wonderful.
No halfway.
I want you on my team. Let's do a podcast. Okay. 2 weeks later, I've got 44 in.
And he'll tile your kitchen in an hour and a half. And this guy works.
I guess. I love it.
So yeah, I did all these podcasts, and a lot of people made fun of me. And they're like, oh, why are you doing these podcasts? Like there's 7 people that's listening on this one, 100 people on this one. And I'm like, I don't know. I actually kind of enjoy them. And we get to tell the story of HeroStock and why we're doing it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so our first year we had over 1,000 people show up. This was our first year under HeroStock. Okay, so we went from 100 people.
I have a question before we go any further. So we have the first HeroStock.
Yep.
Right. When was the second one? A year later?
This is just less than a year later.
Wow.
Okay. So this is build up to that one.
Yep.
Okay, great. I just want to.
Yep. So the first one was in a little metal building in Southeast Lincoln.
Okay.
That's where on a guy's piece of land.
You had about 100 people.
Had 100 people. The first year of HeroStock.
Okay.
We had 1,000 people show up. We had 16 different states that came into it, and we had 44 nonprofits.
Wow.
That we brought in.
Jeez.
It grew that fast, that quick.
Definitely want this guy on my team for anything. Okay.
So what did the nonprofits? So you say you brought in nonprofits. Were they bringing soldiers with them? Were they what was their role?
Their only role is to come in and talk about what they're doing.
Okay.
Because as I did the first one, we had 12 nonprofits show up at the first one, and I knew 3 of the 12 or 9 of the 12. I didn't know some of these nonprofits, and I'd already been in the nonprofit world for 3 years with another nonprofit. And I was like, if I don't know them, what does your regular veteran know?
Exactly.
So,
we talked about that before we came on the air a little bit, right? We were touching base on, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
You know, it's just like in real estate with fair housing laws. I mean, you know, they're there, but you don't know, how does it pertain to me? You know, was I just prejudiced against? So in this situation, you bring in 40 nonprofits. They're just sharing what service they can provide to all these people, right? And I know I've been to several of those things. You walk away and you go, who knew that nonprofit existed? You know? So, you know, I remember one about illiteracy, you know, and I was chatting with them and everything. The funny thing about that is they had the van that said, if you can't read, we can help. Which still cracks me up to today. You know, I'm like, pictures would have done a lot better here, I think. Like a kid with a book open, with a book open looking confused. But anyway, but, you know, I didn't know it existed. And I remember that event. I mean, just throwing that out, I can get how you'd have 40 there and all sorts of different services, I suppose. That
it's crazy. Like we have hunting and fishing groups. We have motorcycle groups. We have knitting groups. We have like knitting.
Yeah.
And it's a Marine that started this group. Like this big burly Marine started this knitting group.
Sure.
And
you don't dare say anything to him.
Daly, who's the British diver that won the gold this year? Daly is his last name. Can't think of his first name. But anyway, I was watching a little documentary on him because I find that diving amazing when the 2 people dive and they're synchronized. I'm like, how do you do that? I mean, just watching me cannonball it. Well, we won't talk about that. But my thought was, he got into knitting for stress. I was like, that's
isn't that interesting?
But anyway, I can get that.
Yeah, we have skydiving, scuba diving, like all of these groups that come in, and most of this stuff is free for veterans. You can go jump out of an airplane for free.
Okay, well, now we're going the other direction of adding stress, right? Jumping out of an airplane. Are they on fire?
They asked
airplanes.
They asked me to do it, and I'm like, absolutely not. Like,
no, me either.
I don't like flying in a good plane. I'm definitely not jumping out of a good plane. So,
hey, dude, my mom asked me out to lunch when she's 88, and my dad now had a stroke, and he was in a nursing home, super sad. But she calls me up. She goes, "Can you go to lunch today?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So we go, and she goes, "Well, I had lunch with your dad today, and he said I can do something on my bucket list." I go, okay, mom, stop. Number 1, bucket list. I didn't know you had a bucket list. You're 88. Why is there anything left on it? But anyway, she goes, I have one. He told me your dad could do it. And I just want to know if you'd help me. I go, yeah, I'll help you do whatever you want. And I'm like, what is it? And she goes, I'm going to skydive. My mom, you can still YouTube it. And they'll show her skydiving at 88 years old, jumping out of a plane.
That's awesome.
I'm now retracing my mouth back right away going, But anyway, so you have a wide gamut of nonprofits, which is awesome. And you had 1,000 people at your second event.
Yep.
Underachiever. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it was terrible. So as this has grown, we've actually been invited to 38 different states to put this on because people look at it and they're like, jeez, this has to happen. Like it's something that there's nobody else doing what we're doing. Well, now there is. Now there's a couple other groups that are kind of starting up, but like when we started this, nobody else was doing this. And some nonprofits don't like to share the limelight. They don't want to share that, hey, this is our event, but we're going to bring all these people in so that they can talk about what they do. And that's our big thing. We want to be able to show all of our veterans, first responders, Gold Star families, this is all available to you.
Right.
We also want general public to come in and go, these are all the amazing nonprofits that's right here in your community that $5 a month could change what they're doing.
Right. And these are the people that protected your freedom.
Yeah.
By signing on the dotted line. Yep. Right. Also, knowledge is power. So that's an amazing concept of your culture. I don't know if initially you really thought of it that way, but knowledge is power, right? So like we were just talking about, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So I'm always surprised by businesses that want to hold all their little secrets inside. You know, it's kind of like share and share and share. Everybody's better in the long run, right?
Well, and in this instance, we're supporting our military. We're supporting our veterans, our troops. And why wouldn't you want everybody to know the secret sauce? I mean, and help me make it better.
For sure.
Let's get it bigger. Let's reach everybody.
Yep.
Well, you know, when nonprofits gather together, whether they serve the people the same way or not, or they're just all different, everybody's stronger in the long run.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Yep.
The entire community.
Yep. I want the United States to look at Nebraska and go, they're doing it the right way.
Well, Nebraska's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
Sorry. I had to throw that out there. Remember when that came out?
Yeah,
I remember
that
the
was a
first time I
turd.
heard it, my mouth was literally, we are kind of filmed. I was like, and then I'm like, okay, that's going to go places, which it did. But anyway,
Right.
I love that idea. So 38 states, you said something about all of a sudden 38. So is HeroStock now in a lot of these states, or you put programs together in other states? Or
We actually last year we tried to expand. So we went
Okay.
down to Rolla, Missouri, and we went down to Lebanon, Tennessee.
Okay.
Two of the places that were begging for us to come down.
Okay.
We figured out really quick it was hard to fundraise in another state.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking at it going,
Yeah.
why are we sending money to Nebraska for them to do an event in our state, and they're
Yeah.
not a nonprofit here in Missouri?
Yeah. Plus, Nebraska's not for everyone. We blew it that
Still
way.
not for everyone.
Anyway.
But even the attendance, you know, people didn't understand what we were doing. They're like, oh, it's just a concert. Well, no, we have live music. Like, that's part of what we do. But
it's
the
the
main
community.
focus is the community. We're building a community within the community,
Yeah.
and having these nonprofits that can show off what they're doing. And people don't, even today, they still haven't grabbed that that's what this is. It's, you're having a concert. Well, yeah, we are. We like to have fun. So we have the concert, and there's food, and there's drinks, but the main focus is all of our nonprofits.
Yeah, you're having a like-minded gathering of people with the same needs is what
Right.
you're having. But, you know, it kind of makes me think that, you know, all politics are local. In a lot of ways, fundraising is kind of local,
Yeah,
right?
it
Like, I
is.
can't see, could you see you and I going down to Springfield, Missouri to get sponsors
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something?
right.
I mean, it
Exactly.
would just kind of be like, you know,
Yep.
just in that way. But so you go down, you have these two events successful. Are they picking up and doing it on their own down there now, or?
They're not. So
Okay.
we ended up going down to Rolla, Missouri. The day we get there, it's hot and it rains.
'Cause
It
it's
rains
Missouri.
all morning.
Yep.
Noon hits, the sun comes out. It's
Sweat
like 114 degrees
in the shade.
yes.
Feel like temperatures 150.
It was-
Yeah.
Oh, Missouri.
It
not
was
for everyone.
Yeah. Really.
It was ridiculous. We ended up having about 300 people show up to it.
Okay.
So in my mind, that's still a win. Right?
Yes,
Because
every
we had
person matters.
Yes, we
Yeah.
had 300 people show up that got to talk to 14 nonprofits. That got to see 5 veteran bands sing and play, which exposed them and their brand to all these people in Missouri that didn't
Sweet.
know them.
Mhm.
So in my mind, it's a win. In my board's mind, it's not a win. Like we should have had 1,000 people there. And we've had a little restructure on the board, which has helped. And they understand that it's not always about that final number. It's, did we change one life?
Right.
There you
That's
go.
all that
Yeah.
matters.
And the first time you were together, you had 100 people.
Right.
They had 3 times more people
Yep.
at their first event. I mean, that it's always perspective, right?
It is.
That's always a joy with boards to begin with, right? Either you have a board that just rubber stamps everything, or you have a board that's just like, I have a ton of opinion. I always say it's like, I don't want to get in trouble with this. So a lot of like membership organizations, or possibly maybe like churches or whatever, right? There's like 20% of the people that do everything and 80% that complain about everything. that the 20%
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Boards can be like that too. So anyway, I get that struggle with nonprofits. I've been involved with several. So you go down, do you think they'll do it again down there? Or because I'm thinking my thought that comes to mind is you really need to duplicate yourself and your mindset in different cities, and you can go down and help start that as opposed to doing the event. Where does your mind go with your experience from those?
So we're actually doing ambassadors. We're going to have ambassadors in different cities.
Right.
And they are going to be the lead. We're going to give them every piece of information that they need to make a successful event.
Perfect.
And a timeline, a layout, everything.
Yeah.
They are going to be the one fundraising in their own city to say, hey, we want to put this together here. And they're going to be doing that fundraising piece to where we don't have to come out of Lincoln and go to Nashville, Tennessee and go, hey, give me your money because we're going to run this event.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we're from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way.
Is it still a HeroStock event?
It will still be a HeroStock event because at the end of the day, our board is still going to have say over the way the event runs.
Okay.
They're just going to be our boots on the ground, doing the advertising, doing the fundraising,
So
that kind of stuff. So
you're the template.
Yep. And we'll put everything together on our end to make it run.
Very good.
So
that was, you said Tennessee, you had Missouri, but then now what was the next step from there?
So the next step from there was actually we pulled back. We decided this year we're focusing just on home.
Okay.
We're going to build home, try to get the brand bigger here, try to get more sponsors on board with us that understand what we're doing, grow the brand, and then take it outside the state.
And about what year was that?
That's this year.
Oh, this year. Okay.
Yep. We're staying home this year, just to grow the brand and make it bigger. So,
which is great. Like I said earlier, you don't know what you don't know, right? Like I remember Travis when you first said, "Hey, we're gonna have I was talking to John Barry, I think originally, and then and he, of course, he's huge on veterans, of course, and he's served. And we're gonna have Justin in from HeroStock. You've heard of HeroStock, right? And I'm like, no, I haven't. First thing that comes to mind is it like chicken or beef or what kind of stock is it? It's
right.
just
Best
for
sandwiches you've ever had.
I have some. Of course, for me, it always comes back to food. Just
right.
If you haven't figured that out yet, but so yeah, that's amazing. I mean, there's always going to be someone that doesn't know about it, and the more people you can get involved, the better. And get the guys out there, guys and women out there that feel that community again.
Yep.
I remember that with my brother-in-law. He served active in the Marines for 24 years, and there's just a lot about that community that I will never understand because I was never in the military.
Yep.
I think that's something I can't relate to on that level.
Sure.
But to open up my eyes to see a gathering of people and be able to go, yeah, for $5, $10, $25 a month, I can support this. And I hope that HeroStock is promoting fundraising for HeroStock as a subscription, because those are big now, whether it's $5 a month or whatever. You might think $5 won't make a difference, but if 500 people do $5 a month, it starts making a big difference.
Right.
And when it's automatic, you don't think about it. I remember the first time, my daughter's like, "Dad, give me your phone." I'm like, "No, I do not like giving you my phone because I know what you did one time where they changed 10 words to be different words. And I do a whole comedy script on that when I do my stand-up." But anyway, I'm like, "What are you going to do with it?" And she goes, "I just want to check your subscriptions." "What do you mean my subscriptions?" "The subscriptions. I don't have any subscriptions on my phone." "Yeah, Dad, you probably have." "Dad, you have 14 subscriptions on your phone. You're spending $205 a month. What is this like fitness app that you have?" I go, "Well, I don't know. Do I have a fitness app?" "Yeah, you're paying them $9.99. I'm what?" She goes, "You're such a wreck." But anyway, she goes, "I know you're not doing the fitness app. You look the same as you did last year, right?" But I always think for nonprofits, push that because it's amazing. I know I now donate to several where it's just out of mind, but I just know in my heart I meant this group. I see what they did, and But anyway, so you're pushing for Lincoln. Do you have a date for this next one in Lincoln?
We do. It'll actually be out in Ashland, at Country Drive Golf Course out there, August 22nd and 23rd. And
so coming up here quick.
Coming up next month.
We're under 30 days.
Hang in there, buddy.
So yeah, we're right to the final line here, and we've got 8 bands over 2 nights, 1 night rock, 1 night country. Every one of our bands or groups is tied back to the military or first responder somehow.
There's a veteran in the group or something.
Most of them have the veteran in the group. Like LV Shane, he's going to be our headliner for country night. He couldn't join, but like his dad and his father-in-law and his uncles so he's got a really strong tie back to the military. They all served, but he couldn't because of an autoimmune deficiency. So
yeah.
But like we like to have our bands have some sort of a tie back to veterans or first responders. And
I love that. Yeah.
That's
Like I couldn't
awesome.
join the military because I couldn't do a push-up. But I mean, we all have our things.
right.
Well, we got a break coming up here, so let's run to break real quick. You are listening to the 402 Business Insider, talking with Jason Steiner from HeroStock. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the concert itself that's coming up and how we can get tickets and all that fun stuff. So
Awesome. We'll
be back right after this.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider with my partner in crime here, Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group, and we've been talking to Jason Steiner, the founder of HeroStock, which has been quite amazing. And this segment that makes this all possible is being sponsored by the UPS stores, Complete Family Dermatology, and Western National Bank. There's a lot of good guys at the bank out there,
I
right?
love those guys.
Yes.
Just regular guys.
Yes.
That's what I love about them.
Yeah. And having,
Right.
especially if you're in business, you know how to have a good relationship with a banker.
You do.
And there's some really great people out there at Western.
Yeah, go out there, talk to Todd and Dallin, Brian. I mean, all those guys. They're fantastic.
Yep.
They'll really help you with your business.
Yep. So, Jason, before we went to break, we were talking about your upcoming event on August 22nd, 23rd. Did I get that right?
Yep.
And so you're having a big concert, a lot of music, a gathering for the public. One thing I mentioned right when we went off air is let's make sure how people know they can go to this event, even if they are not a veteran, right?
Sure.
And if so, how do I get tickets? Are tickets still available? What does the event look like? I buy a ticket and I get out there. What's going to be happening?
Okay, so this year it's going to be a little bit different. They actually added camping for us, so you can bring your trailer out. It's primitive
awesome.
camping, $100. You get a spot. You can come out Thursday, set up your camper up, tear it down on Sunday, and leave the property.
Nice.
So you'll be able to hang out the whole time. We've got our bands coming in. They're all going to be in campers right on site with us. So you have a chance of hanging out with these musicians in the evenings after they perform, that kind of stuff. To get tickets, www.herostock.org. Click on the upper right hand corner where the tickets tab is. It pops it right up. If you're a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, it's 100% free.
Oh, wow.
You click
That's
the ticket,
awesome.
it gives you a free ticket.
That is super cool.
If you are general public and you want to come in, it's $20.
That's
8 bands. It's like
cheap.
8 bands in the 2 day for a 2-day event.
It's $20 a day. So $40.
Still,
Yeah,
$5 a band.
that's a bargain.
Yeah.
That's an absolute bargain.
Yeah.
And so when does the concert start? Are there like events all day, or is it just show up at 5:00?
Yep. So our gates will open at 4. Music will kick off at 5. We'll have music throughout until 11 o'clock. We'll have all of our vendors set up. They're going to be set up about 3:30-ish. So that everybody can walk right through them, see everything that's available there. We'll have bounce houses for kids. We're going to have face painting. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have just all kinds of stuff. So
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a short festival because we're only running from 4 till 11. It's about a 7-hour long deal. And but alcohol sales on site. Country Drive Golf Course out in Ashland. They host a big event every year out there that they put on a concert event. And we've now kind of piggybacked off of them with HeroStock because they're already doing
sense.
it.
Yeah.
And
why not?
It's an amazing venue for music.
So you have a lot of nonprofits that will be there, right? It's
Yep.
all outdoors, so just be under tents talking
Yep.
about there. You can walk around at your leisure and
Yep.
and chat with them. I love that.
And I imagine the camping spots are going to go quick because campers, I mean, they plan their stuff way out in advance. So
right. Well,
you better get on that.
yeah, I would get on the camping thing right now.
And that's at herostock.org as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yep.
are you saying camping or glamping? Which
It is primitive.
it's
So
no
yeah,
room
yeah,
service?
it's
Okay,
it's no room service.
That's okay. I'll still go.
Now you might see somebody drunk like walking through the middle of the lot in the middle of the night, but whatever.
I love it.
It's a really cool piece that they let us add this year. They do it for their event. They had about 200 campers show up to it.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean,
And-
why not?
I mean, you can literally
They'd love to
crawl
camp.
back to your bed.
Yeah.
You don't have to
And
drive
it's-
anywhere.
It has probably been done several
Just make
times.
sure it's your camper.
Yeah.
Right,
They
right.
do tend to look a
Right.
lot alike.
yeah. But no, it's going to be a great time. What we actually do honor a hometown hero. So this year I've already got one of them lined up. He's a OPD officer out of Omaha.
Okay.
and we've got his backstory. We've got another one we're working on right now. And I can't say it out loud, but there's going to be 2 extra surprises this year. The Quilt of Valor is going to come in and do a presentation to a veteran for Quilt of Valor. If you've never seen one of these, bring your tissues, because
I've never seen one, but I'm gathering is a quilt that is going to relate to their service. Okay.
Yep. And they talk about their service and wrap them in the blanket or in the quilt. And it's actually pretty cool.
I'll bet.
We've just got so much stuff going on and so many different things going on during the day. Saturday, I'm in talks right now with a guy. He wants to come in and do a jam session before the gates open, come in at like 1:00. And he's like, I'll run the whole thing. I just want to head this up. If you have an instrument and you want to come in and play, show up out at Country Drive at 1:00 on Saturday.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm a drummer. I have to why didn't I play flute or saxophone? Right. So I've got all these. Just bring your instrument.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So I need a wagon and a golf cart.
Right.
But anyway, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, just a jam session.
I'm a little interested in the demographics, not by age, but by time of service. So do you have Vietnam vets,
Afghanistan,
Desert Storm,
yeah.
First, the second, third? Is it the whole gamut, or what?
Gamut.
Pretty much everyone. That's
gamut.
Great.
Yeah.
I think everybody that served is important. I don't mean to lessen anyone at all, but I think especially what I saw when I was your age, David, and all the men and women were coming back from Vietnam, the way they were treated was so horrible. To know that they have a place where they can go and be loved, I think is huge. And then it's the same for all the other services. I don't want to lessen one. I hope I didn't feel like I did. I'm just probably talking from the season of life I was in that really affected me.
Well, we witnessed it.
I mean, and I remember Bob, who didn't come back when I was a teenager across the street. I had no brothers, and before my best friends moved in that became like my brothers, he's the one that taught me how to catch football, and then he doesn't come back. I mean, which also makes me think, when you were talking about the Gold Star families, I think it's so awesome that they are involved and invited to this, because I especially think about the kids, mom didn't come home, dad didn't come home. It's a hole in their heart, and it's not easy for them to talk to when you're a kid, to talk about that. That's, so they'll meet other like-minded people that are going through the same thing. I just think the community idea of this is excellent.
Well, and as Americans, we really need to take a step back and think about who is serving, especially these people who did go to combat. So right now, my dad was in Vietnam and he recently passed away, but when I was young, he never talked about it ever. Right. And so I bought every single book I could get my hands on that said Vietnam. Right. Because that was my way to try and understand, like, who's this angry old coot that, I need to understand. So I've been reading the book. So anyway, when he passed, I go back and I'm like digging up. I had like 300 some books, and I was going through, and I actually came across John Barry Sr. wrote a book, and I had it. I bought it back in the 80s. And so I'm reading back through it. And I read for an hour in the morning. Sure. And so I'm reading back through his book because I want to have him on. And he was talking about, he was in the JAG Corps. Yep. And he's talking about defending these kids. And they were kids. I mean, these are 18, 19-year-old kids. I mean, you are taken right off the farm into a rice paddy, and you're fighting for your life. Yeah. And that's got to do some serious damage. Before the show, we were kind of talking about some of the things your grandfather had done and some of the things that my dad had did. And then you look back and go, and these guys were 18, 19, 20 years old. And wow.
And one of probably the most challenging terrains to ever fight a war in, right? I mean, in Desert Storm, you can possibly see things come. I mean, it's a little in the jungle. You don't know what's around the next leaf. I mean, that was a horrible, everything about that
or
war
under it
horrible,
or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
The booby traps that they set up, and Vietnam was just a terrible thing. Yeah. And like you said, so many of them, they got spit on when they got home. They didn't get the welcome home parades and so that's.
I'm glad that's changed.
Yes. Yeah, I am too. Yep. Honestly, I am too. Yep. Well, we were coming back. This was last year. We were coming back from Cleveland. My son and I were, and they made a quick announcement they said, hey, the flight has been delayed for like 10 or 15 minutes. So just sit back and relax. And my son and I, we always kind of lean up against the window. And this was in Cleveland. And
Where's that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so they had, I look out and you see all these sirens, all these lights, flashing lights. I'm like, what is going on? And they're coming to our plane. I'm like, oh,
here we go.
Something's going down. I don't know if I want to
Right.
get on this plane. All of a sudden, you see a couple of military guys step out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is an honor flight.
Right. Yeah.
And then you saw the two pilots must have been military because both of them were out there, one on either side of the soldier that was there saluting. And I'm getting choked up just telling the story.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And it was one where you kind of felt that hush come over everybody there. And pretty soon everyone's standing and looking. And it's like, this man gave his life for us.
Right.
And now we're going, he's going home, wherever that was. We were going to Chicago. But it was, that was tough.
And they come on and they're like, hey, your flight's delayed. And everybody's like, oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then you see the casket with the flag and you're like, okay, well, I guess we can take a little bit extra time.
Right.
Here.
Yeah. And the pilot actually came on when he goes, hey, we're sorry we're delayed, but this is an honor flight. And he kind of and just off the cuff, really gave a nice, I don't want to say speech, but it gave us a nice talk. And it was, it was a somber flight, and you could tell the crew, they were very honored to be the ones that were flying this man home.
Right.
So we have another break coming up here. So let's run to that real quick. We're talking with Jason Steiner from HeroStock, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we'll be right back.
Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. This segment is brought to us by the Lincoln Airport and the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. You just got back. You flew out of Lincoln.
I did. I flew
that.
out of Lincoln. I flew right back into Lincoln.
Great airport.
It was awesome to not have to drive home from Omaha. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
Great.
And Rachel's going to come in and talk to us next weekend from the airport.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. And they have a big announcement.
I've heard that.
That's coming. So
yeah,
maybe we should start a rumor. We should start a rumor.
Right. They're
like
going to have a direct flight to York.
There you go. I like that.
That's what I heard.
It's a new hub for 172 service where 2 passengers can go to York or Crete or I don't know. Fly you up to HeroStock.
You in a new little personal tube. Just send you off.
Right. Just like the bank.
That's right.
Off
exactly.
you go.
It's a little sack suction. All right, we better
we better
transfer out of that one.
So we're talking with Jason Steiner, HeroStock. So one thing I want to talk about is impact. I mean, you have to have some impact because you've met thousands of people.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the impact that you're having on veterans.
Sure. You know, up to this point, we've hosted over 3,000 people.
Wow, that's
awesome
at
our events, and it's not just our main events; it's all the smoke offs and the golf tournaments and that kind of stuff too. But at our main event, where we have all these nonprofits, that's where a lot of the big impacts happen. I was actually just set up with a veterans advisory group at one of the events that they were running. I had a booth set up. We were selling merch, hanging out, listening to music. And a guy comes walking up and he goes, "You don't know me and you don't know this, but HeroStock saved my life."
Wow.
And I was like, okay, do explain. I need to hear this.
Yeah, tell me the backstory on that.
Right. And he's combat veteran, multiple tours, severe PTSD, anxiety, depression, you just everything, right? The whole gamut. And he goes, when I came out to HeroStock last year, he goes, I didn't want to go. My wife made me. And he goes, I was not happy about going out there, but I went. And he goes, I walked through the vendors and I met a group called Javelin. And Javelin gives service dogs to veterans for PTSD, anxieties, that kind of stuff.
So this was a nonprofit that he was at HeroStock. Yep. It was one of the nonprofits. Okay.
Yep. They were set up at our event. And he goes, I talked to them and they said, well, you qualify for a service dog. So we're going to put you on the list, once we get, this service dog that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And he gave him, I want a yellow lab, golden retriever, 3 or 4 different breeds. And they said, as soon as we get one that fits this criteria, we'll let you know. He said within 2 weeks of our event, he got a phone call from Javelin and somebody had donated purebred yellow labs.
Oh,
and
wow.
So in 2 weeks from our event, he had his dog.
How cool is that?
Javelin comes out, I think it's once a month. It might be twice a month. They actually come out to your house and train you on how to train your service dog. So you know how to command.
Right.
They don't do the training for you. You have to do it yourself. And he come up and he was talking to me and he goes, this dog has saved my life many times over.
I love that. That's such a cool story.
That is.
Yeah. There is a lot to learn with service dogs as well. Mm-hmm. I took piano lessons from a blind woman. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was like 7 years old when I started. And I remember one time I came in and I was just, I love that dog because I'm a huge dog. I like 4-leggeds a lot better than 2-leggeds. Don't anybody take it real personal. Right? But anyway, I walked in and I walked over and I just started petting her dog, and she's like, don't you stop that. Like when he has his collar on and where I grab onto him, he's in service. So if you ever come in and he's not in that, you can have all the fun that you want. There's just a lot to learn with that. But and it gave him something, I'm sure, to think about, someone else to care about, something
to care for, something to manage, so to speak. Something to focus on.
In life in general, one of our biggest struggles is we're always hauling our head on a flatbed behind us that's 5,000 pounds because our mindset's messed up, right? And so when you think PTSD, and I'm not that sure about what all of that is. I mean, I've seen symptoms of it. I'll never remember. That's a great way to say it. This is something I'll never forget. We'll start with that. I'll never remember what I never forgot was after high school, me and 5 buddies went out to California, San Diego, and then drove all the way up to San Francisco. Great trip. We're in San Francisco on the 4th of July. It's right at the end. So end of the Vietnam War, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of homeless vets, which is something else we haven't talked about, which is a whole nother issue, and it's the 4th of July. So we go out to the Bay where they're going to have all the fireworks and everything, and fireworks start. And I remember just freaking out at those people that were panicking, and some of them, the vets. Of course, I didn't stop to think that sounds like gunfire,
Right.
And so there's a lot about PTSD. So just having an animal that you're taking care of now and is an amazing thing.
Yep.
But that's just a testament to HeroStock, and anybody listening that hasn't been, especially if you're a vet, but everyone's welcome, right?
Right.
Go to HeroStock.org.
Yep.
Correct. Upper right-hand corner. You can buy tickets to this event, August 22nd and 23rd. I just urge everyone to do that, because I'm just sitting here thinking, the more people, the better.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have, like, Friday night, we'll have deliberately broken coming in from Texas. He's a 17-year Army. Holy crap, he's gonna kill me. A 17-year Navy corpsman is the lead singer of that. We've got Die Tired coming in from Pennsylvania. They've got a Marine in their band.
Jeez.
We got Gallivant coming in from Omaha, local band. They're very tied family wise into the military. We have Lockjaw coming in from Texas, and they have about three or four different veterans in their band. Saturday night, we have Kimberly Meyer. She's a base commander out of South Dakota, still serving. We've got South of Center. They have 3 or 4 veterans and I think 1 active guy still in their band. We have the trainer band that has 2 Marines in there. And then we have LV Shane, which is very tied into with his family and that kind of stuff. So we've got some really great players coming in. Should be some amazing music.
Yeah, $20 a day.
Yeah.
For 4 or 5 bands every day. 4 bands.
Yep.
That's
4
amazing.
bands. So $5 a band.
Yeah.
Come in and hang out and listen to music.
Well, and that means you got food trucks, the entertainment, all sorts of nonprofits you can chat with. I mean, it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
So now you also do a couple other fundraisers as well, right?
We do.
Because you have the barbecue.
Yep.
Tell us about the barbecue.
So we do a barbecue. We've got one coming up August 9th at Nebraska Brewing Company in Omaha. We bring in backyard and professional smokers. We provide the meat. They smoke up ribs and wings. We sell the meat as a fundraiser. And then we have live music playing. This year up there, we'll have 4 bands.
Oh, wow.
Okay, August 9th. And where's this?
Nebraska Brewing Company up in Omaha.
Oh, yeah.
So veteran-owned brewery up
Sure.
in Omaha. It's 100% free to show up. Like, you can come just hang out with us. Now, plate of food, you get 2 ribs, 2 wings, and 2 sides for $20.
Oh, that's a bargain.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
And
I'll bet you it's pretty dang good too.
Oh, yeah.
pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Pretty dang
I'm
good.
hungry.
You can't hit the drive-through for $20 and it ain't gonna be that good.
Right. Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
And
Excited to have that one going.
That info's on the website as well,
It
just
is.
so people can
Yep.
check it out. Can people subscribe like to an email or something like that so they can get your events?
Yes. So
Because you have a bunch.
this is something new that we're doing. Is we have the subscribe, so you can actually subscribe on our website, www.herostock.org. Subscribe there. It comes to us. We're actually starting email campaigns for all the events that we do, because
Cool.
we have more than you
Fantastic.
guys even know.
Yeah.
Like, we've got more stuff coming.
Wow.
up, so.
Great. Well, we need
Well,
to head out to
Yeah,
a
we
break
have a break,
here.
which
Yeah.
means all our listeners can go, pull over and they can sign up for your emails
I like it.
while we play some commercials for you. Talking with Jason Steiner from HeroStock, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group, and my co-host is Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. Today we've got a great guest with us, Justin Steiner, and we'll get right back to
Jason.
him in a moment. Jason, Frank, John, you.
I've been
Hey,
called
you.
worse.
Can we call you just Hey You?
You can call
Anyway,
me
before
whatever.
we talk to Yahoo or whoever it is here, this segment sponsored by James Arthur Vineyards. I still loved when they did their wine pairing with junk food. Fast food or whatever, junk food,
cool.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. And then Sartor Heyman Jewelers and the UPS stores.
Yep.
So great sponsors. Thank you so much. Definitely give them some business. Justin, some things to talk. What's your name, Frank? Frank.
I'll
and
get
John.
you a name tag.
John, right? Okay, let me shake. Okay. Oh, Jason. Hi, it's nice to first meet you here today. Gives us something to laugh about. Good old Gary here. Anyway, we were talking a little bit about ways people can donate to you. Your webpage, of course, has some stuff on that. You can just do a subscription, so it's automatically monthly if we want that type of a thing. I think that's a great way to support you. And what was the other thing? You have a podcast.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So we started the podcast January 1 this year. I had been on, I think I'm in the 80s to 90s now of different podcasts that I've been on talking about HeroStock. And I thought, well, let's just start our own. And it is a full-time job.
Yeah, buddy.
So, we got 18 episodes in, and I said, hey, I've got to step back from this. I don't have the time to do it. Not only do I run my own tile business and wood floor business, I'm also the president of HeroStock. And my daughter is now, her singing career is starting to take off, and I'm her manager, booking agent, sound and lights, roadie, financy.
You're like everything bagel seasoning. Everything dad seasoning.
Yeah, right. So I have a lot going on in my life, and with the podcast, I just said I need to step back. And a buddy of mine jumped in and took it over, revived it. He's got it going again. So the HeroStock Nation podcast, we drop every Thursday at 10 o'clock, or I'm sorry, Thursday at 6 p.m. our time, goes on the Facebook page. And then we're actually aired on Reese Across America Radio at 10 p.m. on Monday nights.
Can I find you on Spotify, or also just search HeroStock Nation?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yep.
Listeners can do that pretty easily. Our show is also on Spotify. You can find us on Apple TV, YouTube, that kind of thing. Do you have a YouTube channel?
We do. I'm trying to upload everything right now to get
cool. You have a great radio face, by the way.
You like that?
Just Stacy.
Yeah, it's definitely not a face for TV.
Well, and let's talk sponsorship. So, so if somebody wants to donate once monthly, you can do that on the website.
Yep.
But you're also looking for corporate sponsors.
We are. So our sponsorships runs anywhere from $250 a month or $250 a year to $50,000 a year. So we're looking for corporate sponsors to come in, help out. We have a tiered sponsorship that lays out everything that you get as each tier that you get to, you get different things with that level. So we've done a really good job of just trying to lay that out so everybody can see, you get so many radio mentions, you get podcast mentions, you get TV mentions, banners at the event. When you first drive in the driveway, we'll have banners put up, and you can see who our sponsors are as you're driving in the driveway.
Cool.
So yeah,
but the most important thing is you're helping veterans.
Right.
I mean, that's what your sponsorship really gets you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Jason, it's Jason, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
John.
That's my middle name. I can remember that. That'll be a whole lot easier. So also, really quickly, tell us a little bit about what you do. You have a flooring company. If I want new floors, give us a little tip on that so somebody can get a hold of you.
So I do a lot of tile. I get into a lot of custom showers.
Okay.
And then we do wood floors, the LVP, everything except for stretch and carpet.
So if I want a custom shower, how do I get a hold of you for your business?
Holy crap.
Is it John Steiner at
floorguy0719@gmail.com?
Floor guy.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Or you can just connect through HeroStock because you're going to be there doing a donation anyway. And then you can.
Exactly.
And I monitor everything HeroStock anyway. So if you send me something through there, I will get back.
And you were going to ask him a question before I politely interrupted you.
I was going to say, who are some of your major sponsors?
Barry Law. Barry Law has been amazing. They shoot videos with me all the time. They give me a chance to come into their studio and they do the editing and cutting and clipping. And so they've been amazing. You've got Nebraska Brewing. They host an event. Corn Coast Brewing, which is here in Lincoln, veteran owned. They hosted our smoke off here in Lincoln. You got Langfeld Overhead Doors. They've been a sponsor for all 3 years. Corporal Dig and Page Foundation.
And remind me, he just passed away a couple years ago.
Yes.
Right?
So it was during the withdrawal from Afghanistan. He was one of the 13 that was killed at Abbey Gate.
That's right.
And
that's a whole.
The family has taken the tragedy of that and has really flipped that script. And they're doing a lot of really, really good in his name.
I love hearing that.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
And they're amazing people. You know, we talked to them a couple of years ago, and they're like, yeah, we want to sponsor, we want to help you out, and they've been back every year. You know, so it's been really cool. First Interstate, Omaha Lancers, the Lincoln Stars, VFW 4626. I could go on and on and on. They're on the website, so go look at it, check it out. If you want your name on there, let us know.
Yeah, there's a way to make that happen.
Right, exactly.
There's a way to make that happen.
I love that. We've only got probably about a minute and a half left, but so I want to touch base on a couple of things. So August 22nd and 23rd.
Yep.
You have your big event, HeroStock, coming up, right?
Yep.
We're going to have like 8 bands, 2 days, $20 a day. If you are a vet, a first responder, who am I missing?
Gold Star family.
Or a Gold Star family, you are welcome for free
Yep.
to attend this concert, right?
Yep.
We're going to have lots of nonprofits there that people can see. We're going to have food trucks so
Yep.
you can eat and have a great time. You
Camping.
can camp there.
Yep.
You
Get on
cannot
it now.
glamp there, but you can
Well,
camp
you
there.
can try.
We
yeah.
could, I'd be that guy where you'd get the call on Monday morning. Who was the guy that wandered into my trailer? We found it under the dining room table. It was pretty horrible. Anyway, so that's great. We find you and we can buy tickets on HeroStock.org.
Yep.
Correct. And can connect with who your sponsors are there. We can reach you through HeroStock.org.
Yep.
You can also definitely subscribe and monthly. Listen, even if it's $5,
Yeah.
it adds up over time. You know,
Exactly.
if 500 of us
It
do
helps.
$5, you know, do it. So it's HeroStock.org, which is
Yeah.
a great way to find you. Your name is Jason.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
I just
It
wanted to
is.
help you with that before you left and make sure I haven't totally messed you up for the day. Right, Ted? I mean, Travis. Sorry, I got the T right.
And the barbecue is on the 9th.
Yep.
Right,
August
up in
9th.
Omaha. So
Yep,
go check
Nebraska
that
Brewing.
out.
Nebraska
And-
Brewing. That sounds like fun too.
Yeah, it does.
What was it like? A $20 plate? You get all this food, and I mean, attendance free
And
Then
free
you get to help.
bands and yeah.
Well, we got 10 seconds, so I just want to say to all our veterans out there, thank you for serving. And for our Vietnam veterans, welcome home.